You will come through doorways that you didn't even know were there. See something unbelievable. But you have to believe it because it's right there in front of your eyes.
What you want to give her something bigger than you?
When I was young, I tried to be cool. It didn't work. Speaking of, here's a skater movie. BONESTORM arrives at us courtesy of Aaron Scott Moorhead and Justin Benson, writers and directors of such mind warps as The Endless and Spring, proving in order to make art, sometimes you need to take a dump. The movie is set not far from the Mexican border, good as neighbors with Tijuana, and sees two skaters pulling some gnarly ollies, man, while a camera guy films them. What they don't know is the camera guy is actually looking to make a snuff film and hope to get them so stupid they die. Not that it plays any part in the movie whatsoever. I'd no idea the guy was actually trying to get them killed until I read the synopsis online. I mean, I just saw a bunch of Oedipus cases skidding horrible pain and death because they're bored. You know, skaters! I don't actually have anything against skateboarding, neither the sport nor the people who ride. But I grew up in the 90s, smack in the middle of the bubble bursting on manufactured celebrity and teen fashion. Skateboarding is fun, it's impressive, but screw the MTV aesthetic and anyone who talks like that. I could elevate myself above this petty gut reaction, but this short is so steeped in TMZ, you may as well ask me to review a Yankee Candle without smelling it. Behold Danny and Jason, played by Nick Blanco and Chase Newton. Camera Guy is called Camera Guy and is played by Shane Brady, and all of them are slightly unhinged in their own way.
All clear, big dog!
Shane, if you're trying to cleanse the gene pool, the least you can do is show us. Danny and Jason hired the camera guy to film some skate videos, thinking anyone would give a pressure drop about it. Especially considering Jason knocking futs.
Just the focus. It was bad, so one more.
Did you get that?
No. Oh, that was the one?
Did you get that?
Sorry, dude, the battery just fell out. We gotta go get it.
Okay, clearly the camera guy wants to see them dead, but in his defense...
These cumbags are boring.
Jason is tough and dumb enough to agree to Shane's every attempt to get him killed, thinking he's getting a gnarly skate video out of it. And Danny is either gunning to be a banda or he already is. Strapped, cocked and ready to pop. When he says he's gonna kill you, you best open your ears.
I'm gonna fucking pistol whip the shit out of you if you interrupt me one more time.
The reason I never picked up on the camera guy actually wanting to make a snuff film is because between Jason's foggy connection with reality and Danny being a violent lunatic, hearing this dude talk about death video films and all this other nonsense is not as noteworthy as anything else. If anything, being this unfiltered makes all of them feel a lot more grounded and real than other characters on film.
I go to sleep fucked up not knowing I peed in a bottle right next to me. Boom, I grab the bottle and just go up, and then... But it still tasted like beer, though.
Which makes it a whole lot easier to wanna see them dead.
Hey, Sam! Dude, it's Sean.
AKA Gas Money Kid, played by Christian Toledo, but let's just call him Collateral. Camera Guy gets the idea to find this empty storm drain in Tijuana of all places, so maybe they could get some good clips there, and for some reason has to convince these potholes going to Tijuana is a good idea.
Tijuana is fine now. The drug dealers all left.
I said convince them!
They got firecrackers, they got weed, they don't card for alcohol.
That's more like it. In this isolated location, cartels definitely used to dump humans too. They set up the cams, the tricks, the rapping soundtrack, and finally things go Camera Guy's way.
Is that bleeding? What the fuck? Hot as my balls.
Gnarly, dude. Actually, spilling blood on the massive ritual star surrounding some dog turds wasn't a good thing, even if it does summon a pretty lady.
Hey, my name's Taylor. But, no, seriously though, I'm a director. So if you want me to throw you in some movies or something, we could do that.
Dude! Never flirt with demons who look entirely human! Now, let me paint you a picture. Two skaters with cameras strapped to their helmets and skateboards, one armed with a gun and the other with whatever weapons he can find, outnumbered 4-1 against a banda of brujos coming at them with canes and knives.
How do you possibly make that boring?
Oh shit, hey, dog, I think they killed Gas Money Kid.
Don't talk, just fight!
This scene is at its most visual fantastic. The fight flows fluidly between action and violence, it's gritty and disturbing with fantastic practical effects and camera work which, despite the shaky cam, is easy to follow in high-def frames with almost no movement blur. But this doesn't change the fact it's a battle where two skaters humble an entire sect of brujos while cutting their heads off in slow motion. You can't expect this to be taken as more than popcorn entertainment, and yet the music suggests we're watching a tragedy unfurl. Luckily, Danny realized this and changed the tune.
Ha! I told you they dumped human soup there!
Unfortunately, even this moment doesn't last forever.
You're kind of crazy. Hey, we killed a lot of fools.
You really couldn't decide if you wanted to be tongue-in-cheek or not, could you?
The victory is short because a tremendous growl rises from the drain, and with it the bodies stand once again, this time bereft of skin, meat and blood, leaving them tattered grim reapers chasing after the smacked little fools.
And definitely my favorite bit of the movie.
I really can't get past how good the skeletons look. They almost look like perfectly synced stop-motion dolls with their janky organic movements, and I love the fact they didn't make them growl or creak, but just tink 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 like bones across the concrete. It's still extremely silly, and luckily they realized this time.
We're not dead, motherfucker! Don't stop to the border!
Good luck getting back in! Anyway, this isn't the worst VHS segment I've seen, but it's near the bottom in the best way.
Its craftsmanship is top-notch. The actors, the setup, the locations, the effects, all of it passes the found footage believability test with flying colors. And it didn't just look right, it looked good. And much as I hate the aesthetic, by God did the film do right by skating culture. But this doesn't amplify the experience of watching it. It threw me off from the start with quiet moment after quiet moment where I could get no read on the situation or where it was going. But watching it 10 times over and picking up all the little details and letting the ridiculousness wear me down, I have to admit I come away liking it better than I thought I did. It's still bad, just not as bad as I thought when I first started writing the script. There is an air of 90s on life support about it. It's so ridiculous and takes itself so seriously it becomes a joke, and I can appreciate how downright bizarre the direction is. The film recognizes the first half is boring and changes location and then downplays the most exciting bit of the film. I can't tell if Moorhead and Benson were just insane or clashing with the studio, but the overall execution is a hilariously confused mess. And the two leads, who I initially hated with a passion, now I think are among the best characters ever. They're not the perfect larger-than-life heroes I'm used to, they're dirty, colorful, and they don't play for melodrama, they just deal. Plus, something I didn't notice at first, and indeed skipped over in this review, even if they're rude little shits, they're also decent. They share their stuff with a homeless guy, they joke about leaving one another in a sitch, and when the choice comes, Jason runs at the bone monsters to save Danny's life. BONESTORM is a perfectly photogenic chocolate pudding in the shape of a turd. It's unpolished, flawed, off-putting, and yet when it was thrown in my face, I walked away enjoying it. It's bad, but it's bad in the best way.